I'm gonna be real frank with y'all. Because, might as well be transparent. The truth is that 2019, 2020, it really hit me. Like, while my kids were in high school. Like, it just really got me down about where the economy was going and everything that was happening and what was happening to my sons. And the real, reality check that, how hard I've worked. And this is it. And this is where my sons are starting their life. In this. COVID was like a big, huge reality check. I don't know if everyone felt it, but what I've heard on TikTok and around me and stuff, I think that it really was for everybody. Where it's really, there's just no running from the truth anymore. There's, the elephant's there and the reality is set in that we're all just trapped rats in a fucking cage. And no matter how hard you work and how much you do and how much you give, and all you see are consequences. All you see is debt rising, and it's just more money and 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 more money. And it just never ends. Like, every time you turn around, you're just like, more. There's a handout. Just more money. And it's just like, I'm getting to the point where I don't have any more. You know what I mean? I'm getting older. I'm not as young as I used to be. I'm not as sprice. You know what I mean? I'm not, in my 20s, I was like, go, gadget, do, because I thought there was a point to it. I thought by this age, I was gonna, get to enjoy the fruits of my labor, right? I was getting to relax now, where I, not completely, but, just where it all was going to mean something. I was going to get to a point where I was like, 20 years. Well, I've been actually working since I was in my teens, but it was all going to make sense, by 40, I was going to grind. I was going to push. I was going to go to college. I was going to just keep trying to build some type of ladder, go somewhere while simultaneously raising a family. And then it all just came to a head and I realized I wasn't getting anywhere. No matter how much I was doing, I wasn't going anywhere. It's like I'm just running still. And then I got to see the fact of oh my God. It's even, my children are about to start their chapter. They're about to become adults. They're supposed to go out in the world and somehow manage some type of life when they're looking at me like, Mom, why haven't you got your shit together? And it's like, I've been trying. I've been on running after that cheese, that fucking mouse in the goddamn labyrinth, trying to find that fucking moving at the cheese, you know what I mean? Trying to get that fucking cheese, trying so hard to bust out of this fucking perpetual Russian roulette situation. And then I realized they're going to have it even worse. Because I'm realizing the reality of the situation. I'm I'm waking up. I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh my God, this is what's been happening the whole time. The whole time. It's, no matter what, you go left, you go right, you go diagonal, you go up, you go down. You can't get the fuck out of the quicksand. And I've had a couple of nervous breakdowns because of it. just the pressure of trying so hard to outrun my childhood trauma, sorry. Can't even talk. To outrun my Gen X parents and get mental health and, get rid of the, generational curses and try to raise my kids and learn and grow and try to be successful and just trying so hard to grasp something with nothing. No support, no nothing, no resources, no nothing. Just, you just keep pushing. Good things will happen. You keep earning, you keep getting back up. You just keep going, no matter how hard and how excruciating and how painful and how suffering you feel. You just keep getting back up. No matter how much the world knocks you the fuck down, you just get back up, right? You just brush it off and you just keep getting back up. No matter how many times you've been decked and punched and kicked and bitten and your hair ripped out, you just keep getting back up because it's all gonna work the fuck out, right? Right? But it's not. It's not working. It's never working because it was never meant to. We were just supposed to be ignorant forever. Get sick and die. By the time we realized what was happening in our world, we were supposed to get sick and die before we became smarter. But then COVID came along, and it really got us millennials thinking about how bullshit this is. And I feel kind of stupid because I'm a big, huge George Carlin fan, and he's been saying it. I've been watching him since I was 4 years old. But I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe. I was hoping he was just trying to be funny. But he wasn't being funny. I mean, he was funny, but he was still being honest. He was being transparent. He was telling us millennials, we're fucked. We are fucked. And a lot of us woke up during COVID and realized, wow, this is reality. We weren't being gaslit anymore because we got off the wheel, right? The government told us all to stay home. And we got to thinking, right? We didn't have time to be, distracted, working, going here, going to the gym, doing this, doing that, We actually had to stay home and think. And then poof. We just took a little time to think about it, right? We just took a little time to really look at our situation. And we're like, oh, I've been so distracted by trying to get to that cheese, move that cheese, going, that when the government told us to sit the fuck down, we did sit the fuck down, didn't we? We woke the fuck up. We sat the fuck down, but then we woke the fuck up. Because we just realized we've been lied to for the last 20 fucking years. And our kids, the ones that did have kids, are like, oh my God, what have I done? I brought children into this world whose fucking situation's even worse off than what I've been living in. And I can't even lie to them. I got nothing. I won't even be able to leave anything for my children. There's nothing to leave. I'm living on fucking goddamn hopes and fucking fumes at this point. The math ain't mathin'. We all know these billionaires are corrupted criminals because there's no way you can make that kind of money without being a fucking criminal. We'd have to live like 500 years to be able to make that kind of money. How are they doing it? How are they making that kind of money in a year? Criminal activity? Where's the IRS when you need it? Go start doing your revenues on these rich people and figure out how they got all that money in the first place. God, I'm so sick and tired of this. We all need to wake up and rise